Hey, I'll do the Distaggio here, back at you with the Lost Realm video level. What am I at now? 9 to 11. So let's take a look at what we're doing here. So it looks like I threw in Multanica there, and he's actually, in my opinion, not like super good for Lost Realm. At least not the player versus enemy PvE encounters, or I like to call them just the monster encounters versus the player versus player encounters, which are the battle altars, which I'll finally be doing a little bit of. I don't really do a lot of battle altars, but anyhow, yeah, so here I was using Atlantic Core and Multanica, and you know, those tanks do work out great, but I do have to say that if you don't have a high revitalize on Atlantic Core, he will get defeated pretty quickly, and helps if you have an Inscription high on him if you do happen to use him. So I did swap in the old rock hopper, as I call him, and that is of course the new hero, Orcsbane. And you can see I'm firing. I'm still trying to narrow down something that gives me a high win percentage. Some of these do, some of these don't. I'm going to show you some wins, I'm going to show you some failures today. And again, I'm getting close, but what's really super crazy important in Lost Realm is Coma, or the ability to stun the other team. Mass stun the other team is especially helpful. So what we're talking is Thunder God, we're talking Vlad Dracula, we are talking Immortep, and we're even talking to a minor degree Champion, especially if you happen to be a lower might player, or you might not have some of these mass stunners. Champion's still good because it takes one opposing hero out for 3 seconds, versus most of the other stunners stun for somewhere between half a second and longer. So, anyhow, Bad Altar, here we go. We just hit level 10 right there, so we are going to get a monster block and a mine block, and you'll see that those got added there. And I do like to take my mines up, but I think that it's probably more important to save those red crystals for sort of leveling up your crest by combining. So I'm not sure though. At the same time, I really do think it's crazy important to have blue crystal to level up your inscription. And that's what I did. I rose these crystal mines up simply because at the time I think that Inscription, and maybe I think it's still true, that having a lot of blue crystal to really ramp up your inscription level on your heroes is super important, because I'm going to show you some screenshots here of the max inscription in a little bit. But first of all, let's talk about Orcsbane. So yeah, I do like Orcsbane for this game mode. I don't think he's as crazy as I originally thought. I do have him at 6 to 9, which deals 260% damage to enemies, slows them a bit, and restores half of his damage to pretty much your entire team. And I got Tenacity 4 or 5 on him, and that's pretty decent. His Inscription right now is level 41, and I don't believe I can make quite a full set, or do I got it? Boom! Got it. There we go. Deflects 8% of damage taken. Hey! Meh. Meh. M-E-H. Meh. Yes, the crests you get out of the green boxes, they're not like super crazy awesome, and so I tend to like Tenacity, Blade Shell's okay, Flame Guard's okay, Scourge. I mean, they're not awesome. Probably Tenacity is my favorite, and you can see here I'm getting about 8,000 hit points off that Inscription. And here is one. This I got from the Reddit. This is Deej18 posted that level 80 Inscription is 2,200 attack, 29,000 hit points. And by the way, to do that, to actually raise your Inscription to that level, takes around 22 million mana. Yes, I didn't stutter. 22 million mana. So that is why when you go raiding, trying to get mana, you can never find it, because everyone's spending all their mana on inscriptions. In fact, mana is now more important than gold, in my opinion. I believe what IGG should do here is they should let inscriptions be leveled with both gold or mana. So at least then there's not just extreme shortage of one. Anyhow, look at this failure here, guys. Again, I'm just showing this because I don't quite have my team narrowed down. People have been posting my comments in my last video, some excellent teams, some of which I will be trying in future future videos, so continue to do that. I appreciate it. I do not have Ares or Vlad Dracula on my main account, so I cannot try a bunch of the ones that I know has been successful for some of y'all. Those heroes seem to be pretty well in this game mode. That is for sure, especially on the battle altar. Here's just me opening up some of the old crest bags there, and you can see I'm just opening those green ones. Here's a crest box. Those tend to have level 2 crests, like here, Flame Guard Crest 3, so it's for slot 3 and it's level 2. And again here, we got a Blade Shell Crest 2, that's slot 2, level 2. And again, the level is in the upper right corner, the slot's in the bottom left corner. The bottom right corner is quantity. So that's when you see it on that. So right here you don't see anything in the bottom right corner, but when you come to different screens you'll see the quantity of your crest in the bottom right corner. And what you're essentially, once you have 4 of one crest, then you can do the combine for a couple hundred red crystals, and you can rank up 4 level 1 crests into 1 level 2 for a single slot. And here I'm just working on showing you guys some of my inscriptions and crests and things like that. And Reaper here, what I really want on Reaper is Sprint, because I did re-talent him to a defensive talent, but there was my Orc's Bane with Tenacity as mentioned earlier. Here's my Minotaur. Again, I just at this point in time I don't have a lot of matches. Later I do get everything all matched up, and I do have matches on pretty much all of my main heroes that I use. Pumpkin Duke there, definitely like Tenacity on Pumpkin Duke. He does have lower hit points, so his inscription level is also important. It's high priority for me to get his inscription up, but Battle Archer, so Rezanak here, buddy boy. I don't know about this. So this is tricky, guys. So these produce a lot of blue crystals when you own them, and it will be under protection for 4 hours after it is successfully occupied. And as you are holding it, it just starts to seriously output blue crystals. It's a pretty cool game mode. Pretty new and awesome idea for player versus player. The problem is I have a lot of trouble with those Ares Vite 4 or Ares Vite 5 teams. A lot of trouble with them. I even had trouble with this team here. It took me quite a few attempts. And the reason why I don't do these every time I see them is because it takes a lot of time to reclaim an altar, because it's a lot of trial and error, try to get the right hero combination that tends to work there. I almost had him there, so I don't really want to change my team too much, although do I? So here I'm just kind of shifting things around here. I know that I'm close to the win. But yeah, me against Ares teams, guys, it's just, seriously, it's embarrassing. So here I'm going Thunder God, Immortep, Minotaur, Pumpkin Duke, and Atlanticor up front here in that cross formation, which I know a lot of people are using. A lot of people are using 3 stun tanks at the top left here instead of what I'm doing here, which is just 1 tank. That is actually not a bad idea whatsoever, and that's also one I recommend. And you can see here at this point, this one's doing a little bit better for me. Again, I didn't need to tweak much. I just had to kind of shift some positions around, and that allowed me to get off maybe another stun or something, and that's what got me the game here, as Immortep procs there and takes out the Minotaur. So after battle altars occupied, resources will be generated, as you can see here, and resources do have to be collected manually. So that is one thing. You got to go in there and collect your resources, because if someone wins that altar off of you, someone else beats you, you don't get the resources that are in it at that point in time. So I did want to break up the sort of monotony of Lost Realm with a HBM Monster I without troops, which is now, I would say, very possible for many accounts, simply because the inscription level on your hero, the inscription level adds quite a significant amount of hit points. One of the problems with HBM Monster I was always that Spirit Mage would one-shot your heroes. Okay, maybe not so much at like level 160 plus, but you know, yeah, he could one-shot like a Pumpkin Duke or a Spirit Mage or something if you had those on your bases. Not that I'm recommending Spirit Mage on your base for HBM Monster, but now with inscriptions adding, let's just say 8,000 to 10,000 pretty easily, right? Not a ton of mana to get there. You can easily survive that proc or two. You know, keep Druid or Orc's Bane on your altar just so you can heal up a little bit and be, you know, sort of in between things. And and you should be okay. So that's just why I wanted to show that Here Be Monster I. That can be the new go-to, if you will, if you've just been farming Here Be Monster H forever, like I have for months and months and months of Here Be Monster H, simply because I could do it troopless and I had no risk. Now I can do Here Be Monster I troopless with, again, pretty low risk. There's still a little bit of risk, you know, if you happen to get a double, triple proc. That might be more my base than anything, but I still use the base that I've been using for quite a long time. It's called the Dirty Bastard, just because it used to be kind of a cheap trick, and now it still is a little bit of a cheap trick. I still like it for lots of reasons. I haven't talked about it for a long time, but anyways, just to end up this video, here is what level 11 looks like. You do get another battle altar and another monster. See the little monster over there, the Frost Witch. You can see that you get those squares, and I will show you more level 11 Lost Realm in the next video. As always, keep it dirty and dirty up.